Okay, so this is going to be a sort of a request video, and what I mean by that is I've been doing a few cigar videos lately, and people have mentioned some of the cigars I shown were a little on the expensive side, and is there anything cheaper? And actually there is. And if you watch one of my previous videos, I got a humidor deal from Cigars International, and I'll put the link in the description. It's 10 cigars plus a humidor for 19 bucks. And some of the cigars were really, expensive cigars, not really expensive, but $10, $12, maybe 15. And some of them were more reasonable. And one of the more reasonable ones was this one. And I got two of these, and I smoked one the other day, and I enjoyed it. So I figured I would do a review. And this is for someone that's looking to still smoke a good cigar, something to step up from a gas station, but still a nice cigar that they could enjoy. And this one is called the HC Black, and it's made by a company that is called Xikar. So however that's pronounced, Xikar, Cigar, whatever. Basically, they're an accessory company that sells lighters, cigar cutters, and a couple of years ago they got into the actual cigar business. So we're going to cut this and light it in a second, but I will tell you, from the last one that I smoked, it was a pleasant smoke, and it's under $5. So if you're telling me you can't afford a good cigar, now you can. So this is a cigar with what's called a dark Havana wrapper. So as you see, it's a darker wrapper, and it's going to be a little more on the stronger side. The inside filler is a long filler made out of Dominican and Nicaraguan tobacco, and it does have a coffee, peppery, leathery, creamy cocoa type of a flavor to it. So it's a delicious cigar, and what I'm pairing this one with, because it's a little heavier cigar, just a little Glenmorangie single malt whiskey. And I just have that with 2 ice cubes. That's what I choose to do. Some people use spring water. I like 2 ice cubes in my scotch. And very nice. And we're going to take a sip of that. So we're just going to give you a quick initial impression. We're going to cut the cap off, and we're going to try it out. So that was a nice clean cut. Draw seems okay. We're gonna light it. And we're gonna see if this is good as the first one that I smoked. And I have a feeling just from the lighting part right here that it's smelling quite delicious. So let's see. Alright, it's a slightly tight draw. What I mean by that is, if you look closely, it's a very, very tight cigar. And the draw is not perfect, so I'm not going to tell you that it's perfect. If it's not, I'm going to just give you honest reviews here, like I always do on everything, because I buy these. I'm not paid by these people, so it's I'm going to tell you what's real. It's a little bit tight. But it's a tasty cigar, and it's definitely, like I said, it's not a mild cigar. So I just had a nice lunch, a heavy lunch. I just had salmon on the grill and a whole bunch of other stuff, and so this is definitely, you'd have a cigar after, and a good scotch is always great, and with the heavy cigar. That is delicious scotch. Single malt whiskey, I should say. Scotch whiskey. But, so anyway, HC Black Maduro. And yeah, definitely it's a tight draw. And if I was inside, I have a little tool that would actually fix that, but I'm sitting under my gazebo right now. pretty far away from the house, so I'm not going to walk all the way in. But I'm going to smoke this a little bit more. You could fast forward it, or you could end it, do whatever you want. I'm just going to let it roll a little bit longer here, and I'm going to enjoy this cigar. It's definitely a good cigar. I wouldn't know this was a sub $5 cigar, that's for sure. The flavor is definitely a nice flavor to it. And I know, like, a lot of my subscribers out there are new to the cigar game, and some are trying to get into it, and some are not into it. And you know, it's one of those things that it's an acquired taste. It's a hobby. I have a lot of obsessions, hobbies, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, guns, knives, I can't even, watches, you know, and cigars. Literally, I was thinking about it today. I've been smoking cigars since I was a kid. So I had my first business when I was 20 years old, and I used to go into my business with a big giant cigar in my mouth when I was 20 years old, and I think I weighed about 140 pounds, so I must have looked like a cigar was bigger than me. But hey, what are you gonna do? That was the good old days when you could smoke inside a business, and you can't really do that anymore, except one of my places you can. But anyway, so take another puff on this. Yeah, besides the tight draw, it's a nice cigar. So I'm going to give this, I'm going to start doing like a rating on, you know, 1 to 5. I'm going to give this a 3.5. So it's definitely not a 5, 5 being the best. I'm going to say it's a 3.5. So it's a good cigar. It's an enjoyable cigar. This would be a cigar that I would take on a golf course with me. You know, so I'm not looking to, you know, bang around a $30 cigar, but, you know, something like this I could put down on a little, you know, on the grass if I had to, but I have a little cigar holder when I'm playing golf. So, but it's something that's good for that. It's good if you're outdoors at a shooting range. There is a shooting range that I go to. Sometimes I'll smoke a short cigar, you know, when I'm not rushed or in a hurry and there's no mental cases around me pointing their guns at me. And that's it. So just sitting outside today, enjoying the beginning of the fall. And then later on tonight, I'm going to have this one. This is a Carlos Terrano Dominico. So this was also in the Cigar International sampler pack that I got, and I'm testing them all out. And I'll be honest with you, they only ship one of those deals per customer. For 19 bucks to get the humidor and 10 cigars. I wish I could get another one, even though I do not need another humidor. I've already said how many I have. I have a lot of humidors, but just for the cigars, for the 20 bucks, it's well worth it. And it's a sampler. And sometimes what's nice about a sampler is you get things that you wouldn't have tried, like this. I definitely would not have gone into a cigar store and said, hey, let me have that $5 cigar right there. But you know, as I said in my last video, there is an old adage, you know, never smoke a cheap cigar. Life's too short for cheap cigars. But if they're cheap because it's a company trying to make their way into the already competitive cigar business and they're, you know, keeping their prices low, then that's one thing. If it's cheap because it's a crappy quality, that's another. And this is not a crappy quality. Like I said, it's just rolled a little too tight, but it is hand rolled and handmade, and that's it. So I'm going to sit and enjoy the rest of the cigar. It's definitely a nice slow burning cigar. I'm going to look at my birds and hummingbirds in their feeder and enjoy the day, and I hope you guys do the same. All right, take care and thanks for watching.